So from SASA to the roads we go. This year, the Road Accident Fund has joined forces with the men and women of South Africa's emergency services and launched the campaign, Please Be Careful on the Roads, Let's Not Meet by Accident. In a bid to urge road users to be safe during this festive season, the campaign is a new approach from RAF to collaborate with tow truck drivers, bit of a tongue twister, the police, medical staff, as well as ambulance and fire personnel. These members of the emergency services are usually the first to arrive on accident scenes. And joining us now this morning to talk about this, we've got Phumelela Dhlomo. He's the Road Accident Fund Chief Marketing Officer, and Benedict Ledwaba, the Deputy Head of the Netcare 911 Emergency Operations Center. Good to have both of you. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
You know, it's so difficult to talk about asking people to be safe, where one of the stories in our news that we're covering is a massive accident that was held on the weekend. 13 people dead in one accident. I mean, it's devastating.
It's tragic.
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah. And Leanne, that is why we're here, to just make sure that whoever is listening and whoever is out there, can we just try and heighten the awareness, because most of these things are as a result of negligence from the driver's side. And we have a WhatsApp group as a team where we actually are talking, and the entire weekend we've just been getting messages of accidents that's been happening. He was just sharing a story with me now that he was in Limpopo. Actually, even the hospitals are full. They now have to distribute people. It's
purely
just,
from motor
yes,
vehicle accidents.
Absolutely, and it's just unnecessary.
You know, it's one of the worst times of the year, because, you know, it becomes very difficult as a news organization to not do a death toll count from road accidents, because that's pretty much so what ends up happening, is that you'll sort of start, okay, well, the total number stands at, oh, it's gone up by, oh, look at us now, we're sitting at 20, 30, 40, 50, we're up to 100, 200, 300. I mean, it's just, for other countries, it's almost insane to comprehend what happens this festive season.
And like I say, it's as a result of people being negligent on the road. It's as a result of the use of cell phones. It's as a result of people just making sure that their cars are not in the good condition that they should be in.
Yeah.
And we can change that. And our role as a fund, even though we're there as a controlling arm of government, whenever people have been in accidents, but our role is also just to make sure that, can people be aware that when you are on the road, you're sharing the road with someone else. So always remember that. And it's not all about you being there and doing whatever you need to do and driving the way you need to do, but you just need to make sure that you're careful and what you do, which is why we've brought in this campaign. We're just asking the different men and women who are in service to then tell their stories.
And that's where I want to bring Benedict in, because this is now, I mean, this is possibly the worst time of the year for all of the emergency personnel. You all have to be at work on standby, and you're probably busy 24 hours a day. What is it like now as an emergency personnel?
You know, Leanne, like Phumi said, it's it's a bit catastrophic at the moment. It's pure carnage, and we haven't really got into the new year, but we are already starting to count bodies. The number is going up, and as they normally call it, it's the silly season. You know, the people want to have fun, but it mustn't come at a price, which is quite important. We don't want to meet by accident on the road, or emergency department, or even worse, get your body picked up by the forensic pathology vehicle, which is something that happens on a daily basis. So our message is quite simple. The guys must be really, really responsible. There's nothing wrong with having fun. No texting, no driving and texting, no drinking alcohol and driving. And we'll see, maybe the numbers will go down. But at the moment, things are not looking quite good.
Not looking good at all, and it never seems to. Every single year, there are more and more education drives, there are more and more awareness campaigns that are out there, and yet nobody pays any attention to them. And that's why I want to ask you a question. When you arrive on an accident scene, what do you see there? I mean, let's shock people. Why not? Because nothing else seems to work. When you arrive there and you are confronted with an accident, I mean, what is it that automatically you see and you feel?
You know, It can be a bit hectic sometimes. I remember, I think about a week ago, there was an accident close to Diepsloot. A 23-seater collided with BMW sedan. And when we got there, I remember very well, because it's still quite fresh. One of the guys was actually hanging outside the window, and he was bleeding profusely. But there was nothing we could do. You know, it's just one of those things that you can see that he's actually no more. He's not with us. It's a bit too late. But you try and do your best wherever you can. You know, it's a calling at the end of the day. It's not by choice. You're doing this because you purely have passion. And we give it our best shot on a day-to-day basis. And I mean, law enforcement officials are trying to get the message across. But, you know, of lately it looks like everything is falling on deaf ears.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, and especially when you arrive on these accident scenes and children are involved. Because no child asks to be in a car with somebody who is drinking and driving, or somebody who is texting, or somebody who is just too tired or is preoccupied with something. Yeah. And to actually have to deal with a dead child in an accident must be one of the hardest things ever.
You know, it's quite alarming, but, you know, you got to contain your emotions, because, you know, they are innocent in the whole thing. You got to be professional at the end of the day. And as I always tell the guys, just give it your best shot, and, you know, and see what you can do at the end of the day. You know, you can try and do as much as you can, but if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
And I remember, I think earlier this year, we flew down to Rustenburg for a lady. Her vehicle actually swerved off the road, and she hit the tree, and they've actually caught fire. And they called the paramedics to come and quickly stabilize the situation and transfer her to the nearest hospital. So we flew down to Rustenburg and picked her up from one of the EDs. And she had 80% body surface area burns, and she was in pure agony. And we intubated her, and we flew her down to Johannesburg for specialized care. And I remember looking at the son, and, you know, because I could see the situation was quite bad, and he was in tears, and he was only like 8 years of age. Yeah. And then, unfortunately, 2 weeks later, you know, she demised as a result of that. And, you know, driving and texting is on the rise, which is something that I want to get the message across. It's actually quite concerning, because when I drive on the roads and all that, every second vehicle that I come across, someone is either on the phone or texting, one of the two, which is really a big concern for us as emergency care practitioners.
I mean, Phumi, this is real now, and this is where I think I'm really beginning to understand the campaign, is bringing the real life experience of these people that dedicate their lives to saving us who are being irresponsible on the roads.
Can we perhaps just look at a different approach, because we know that we're possibly not going to change culture instantaneously, but what we're doing is we want to heighten awareness. We had 1,700 people dying during this period last year. Can we just have that? Is it possible? And it is possible. But what we need to do is to make sure that we change things and change the way in which we behave on the roads. And this is why we've actually taken a completely different approach. It's not shock tactics or anything, but can these people also tell their stories? Yeah. You are going there to meet your family, to meet whoever that you're going to be with. How about you get there and not meet any of these guys?
Exactly.
And that is exactly what the campaign is all about.
That's what you want to say.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you both 30 seconds to give your final word and advice to drivers, pedestrians as well. Drunken pedestrians, I believe, is one of the big causes as well. The advice over this festive season, please, I'll give you the first turn.
Thank you. The advice for me is that can we just make sure that we get to where we want to get to and come back safe. But we are the controlling arm of government as the Road Accident Fund. Should you be in a car crash or be involved, or you know anyone who is, please make sure that you contact us. Our details are available on the website, and we are all on standby, as you see, and we'll be available to assist you in whichever way that we can.
Okay. Your closing words and perhaps some advice to motorists.
We've got our resources ready, but we do not want to utilize them. So all I'm going to say to the guys is that be responsible out there on the road. It's not only about you, it's about the safety of other individuals who are using the roads as well. If you are reckless and negligent on the road, you might cost someone their life. So just be responsible out there, and no driving and texting, please.
Thank you. Thanks to both of you being in studio with us. I hope that you heard that message. RAF Chief Marketing Officer talking to us here on Morning Live. It's great to have the RAF in studio with us. And also we've got from Netcare 911, Benedict Ledwaba, and from the RAF, Phumelela, Dhlomo. Thank you very much, both of you. Let's take a break. We'll have your news at